Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the bill's authors and contributors for their passion for literacy and their commitment to listening to each other and to stakeholders so that the resulting legislation is representative of diverse accountability measures written into it. It includes people's valuable experiences and different aspects of teachers' input. The result is collaboration that is representatives of educators, administrators, subject matter experts, parents. Yes, I've talked to many parents, employers, students, DPI, Democrats, and Republicans. This legislation reshapes Wisconsin K-12 experience with proven, evidence-based early literacy instruction. Mr. Speaker, I grew up in a low-income neighborhood in the city of Kenosha, and I attended at-risk public schools. Educators in the Kenosha Unified School District significantly impacted my career success in corporate finance. But not all of my classmates came from homes that could prioritize education. Many of them were simply prioritizing survival. While succeeding in school was my key to get out of the neighborhood, the system failed many of my friends. AB 321 is an opportunity to fix what was wrong and to invest in hopeful futures for the nearly 70% of Wisconsin students who can currently not read at grade level. It's a chance to better equip them with the tools that they need to survive and to thrive. In 2021, 27 years after I graduated, less than 35% of the white students enrolled in that 20,000 student district could read at grade level. Less than 16% of Hispanic students and less than 7% of black students. Unacceptable. Kenosha Unified is a majority minority school district, and nearly 60% of students are economically disadvantaged. The majority of students from low-income homes did not make proficiency. Mr. Speaker, if there was ever an example of a systemic problem, that DPI data says it all. The government monopoly on education has proven one thing and one thing alone. Throwing money at the problem with top-down solutions doesn't fix anything. The data shows this. Despite historic spending on education, the achievement gap is wider than ever. It's high time that we partner with public education to consider that the problem might not have been just funding. It might just be that we were simply doing it wrong. AB 321 unites us today as we come here not to place blame or to point fingers, but to embrace the change course and embrace science-based literacy. And speaking with reading specialists, interventionists, classroom teachers, social workers, counselors, administrators in multiple school districts, and yes, I have talked to all the stakeholders, I found that educators are excited for this change. They are pleased to have their voices heard and to have had input into elements of this legislation that they believe will make it successful, such as teacher training, instructional coaches, and curriculum and materials. But we do, as representatives, have an obligation to taxpayers to provide a return on our investment. AB 321 builds in safeguards that measure effectiveness along the way so that we can determine if this new approach is working as we invest hard-earned taxpayer dollars into the project. Simply pushing students forward who have not achieved proficiency has proven to set kids up for failure in later life. A student who cannot read in third grade is more likely to drop out of high school. A high school dropout is more likely to become incarcerated or become dependent on state assistance. AB 321 aims to set students up for success with individualized reading plans, not rote repetition of the third grade. The social and economic consequences of ensuring a child has learned to read before they must read to learn will be exponential. AB 321 sets our state up for improvements in mental health, increased participation in the skilled workforce, lower incarceration rates, and less dependence on state programs. Mr. Speaker, in my introductory meeting with the governor earlier this year, I was inspired by our shared concern about early literacy in Wisconsin. AB 321 is an opportunity to restore faith and hope in our youth and to show them that we are ready and willing to invest in their futures. As the gentleman from the 63rd mentioned last week, some of the best legislation comes through divided government. Let's do this together. Mr. Speaker, for Wisconsin's children, the vote is green.